Hey, quick update for Scourge of the High Seas and how tokens get made, the problems I run into it, and sort of just the reality of the whole situation of making games on your own. For anybody else who's thinking of making games, self-publishing, and doing the work yourself, this is sort of a reality check. Things you don't necessarily expect when you get started with them. So let's take a look at how tokens are made and the problems you can run into when you're using laser cutter or um, materials that you think are good, and sometimes they surprise you. So this is what a typical board looks like when I'm cutting out crew tokens. As you can see, there's a lot that are still in there, even though they look like they've cut out well. Everything looks like it's cut nicely. But when you look at the back, you can see these gaps, especially like right through here, where there's a void or there's some extra glue or some material on the inner layers of plywood. So when you look at the edge here, you can see that there's multiple layers. Now the more layers, the better quality it is, but it still means that you could get some voids or some extra glue or some other material inside of there somewhere. And when that happens, the laser will not cut through properly. It'll cut through kind of like this, and even these little pieces right here on the edge could cause problems where it won't cut through, and then it doesn't want to come out terribly easily, especially like pushing really hard on this one. It doesn't want to come out. And this is where, more problems like right there. This is where the yield for an entire sheet can be completely ruined by areas throughout the board that are bad. And that's why when you look over here, you can see whole sections like this bounty hunter, and then this entire streak all the way down through all of these arrows ruins this entire section of the board, and I'm unable to get pieces out. You can see it moves really easily, right? But that center piece right there ruins it, and that would require a lot of hand sanding, and if I was even able to get it out using a knife or anything like that. Since it's a laser cut, it is so thin that you can barely even get your fingernail in that gap, and getting any sort of blade to be able to cut that out is nigh on impossible. That's why a lot of times this is just lost to the process. I can't get anything out of that. So instead, what I have to do is then I have to go and get another parent sheet. In this case, this is just a quarter parent. Usually I get a 5 foot by 5 foot section, and this is just a 30-inch by 30-inch piece. And out of this, I can get one whole piece here, one whole piece here, and I can get a fraction piece over here, a fraction piece over here, and then a little square fraction piece right here that I can do makeup pieces like the remaining of the arrows over here, or any other special shape like that. But what I'm gonna have to do is I've got several boards like this. Let me show you. So I've got navy, again, whole sections, just no good all the way across. Have to redo those. This one came out really nice. You can see how well it cut. The merchant ships, I'm gonna have to cut more of those. Again, with these pieces, when I try to push them out, something like this, you can see it actually splinters across into the next piece, and then it ruins this piece. And I've got to do work on this one as well. So things like this. Here's another merchant sheet that I've cut out. Did pretty good. Here is a crew token sheet that half of it was good, and then the other half started getting bad. You can see whole sections again over here that was no good. And it's actually starting to rain, so I'm gonna hurry up and do this real fast. And then again, the original sheet that I was talking about, yeah, some pieces will actually just pop out still. But other pieces, like this, right? Now I've got these rough edges that I've got to go and clean up. So that is the work that has to be done for making a game of Scourge. All these pieces have to come out. And in fact, I get about 200 11 out of a sheet here. And so when I do something like this, now it's looking more like 60 to maybe 70 instead of that when I've got bad wood. So I have to keep going back to the lumber yard and getting new pieces all the time. So there's my update for the day.